And that is another thing I've been shown. You know, the sacral chakra is where the womb is. And we are created inside of the womb. And here is the Akashic record. So we are created inside the Akash. And here we have chosen what we bring with us of things that we want to heal and change. And we are, as women, life itself. We are the life givers. Although we need men also, they are not superior or minor, or they are equal. But we have this capacity to give birth to life and to nourish, to feed. And that has not been acknowledged. They've been suppressed. But we are so sacred. We are goddesses, all of it.
Now, in this moment, I just would like to invite anyone that's listening, past, present, or future, to really, if you're a woman listening to this, to really go through these meditations, these connections from this broadcast to this point now, where you can say to yourself that you acknowledge, or I acknowledge, the goddess within me, and feel really comfortable in that being that is you. Because it's not easy being a woman. Because you're fighting your own energy center there, the sacral, the womb. Because this society is not set up to nurture it in any way, shape, or form. If anything, it's the complete opposite and the total inversion of femininity. And we see that on the planet today, on her body as a galactic sentience.
I've had visions where I see the universe as a woman and I see Mother Earth inside the womb, about to be birthed out in a new world.
I've been feeling lately, and this was quite strong from a journey in March, and I was shown that grandmother of the universe, a similar vision from what I can feel. But grandma was not happy
No.
with the way her daughter returned out.
No, I know, that's why we have this struggle.
She thinks the grandchildren are terrible.
Why?
And all those generations, she's like, what have I done as a mother? So I think that all mothers can empathise there to a certain degree, because anything that our planet experiences, any blockages on the land, or blockages in her song, her expression, it happens to us. Do you think?
Yes, yes. It is. All we have around us is a mirroring of what we are expressing inside. When we, as a Mayan grandmother said one day, I was in a gathering, that as long as we throw our blood in the garbage, you're not honoring life because it's sacred. And we need to learn how to be sacred. We have to teach our young girls to be proud of growing up to be women. But we haven't done it because we wasn't proud of ourselves.
So, how could we encourage or shed some light on how to honour your own blood sacredly?
By talking about it as we do now. That grandmother was, she was in her tribe having girls circles. So all girls that was in the age of having their moon, they was teach how to treat the blood coming and give it back to Mother Earth. So the more we understand what life is, that we are sacred as women, because without us, life wouldn't sustain. Life as nature, yes, but not as human.
So, over a period of time, I'm just going to use what comes through to me, and it's 76 million Earth years of shame that a woman has to have, that has experienced from lineages, cultures, about the womb and its function, being separated, being unclean. And this has been disconnected. I can't think of any society on this planet that honours the blood, the monthly cycle. Can you?
No,
I can't think of any.
no. Well, there are tribes who do.
Mm-hmm.
Genius are more aligned with that way of thinking. But they have been closed up in their own society because the world was not ready for it yet. But now they have started to come out and share their wisdom so we can save the planet and keep living here.
I think we've just identified a niche market here for a program, an education in reclaiming the sacredness of the womb for girls of a certain age.
Yes. Yes. We need to start with the girls.
Yes, it's true, and this is why I've got this concept, and so it gives me an opportunity to talk about this in more detail. Women's Work International as a not-for-profit organisation. So this podcast is part of that, of creating awareness of issues that we all experience, but with a fundraising element to bring about this sort of educational awareness of women's bodies, the experiences that we all go through, and create and implement a program for younger women to really reclaim themselves and know themselves at their core functional levels as well as sacred levels.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I didn't know.
Yeah, I can't wait. We're going to do more. We so are going to do more with this. So we're in the very early infancy stages of it, and there will be other avenues coming in. It's just all at the very beginning of its cycle, really. So, yeah, what you're saying is quite beautiful. So, can you? So we've just sort of identified part one of a girl's growth into womanhood, the honouring of the blood, the honouring of the cycle, the cyclical process
Mm.
that happens, um, the differences of feeling in that area when you're actually having a flow. What is it? Heavy flow. Why am I feeling so terrible? Or a light flow. Why would you get a light flow, for example? So it creates a yearly awareness.
Yeah, I think all the pains that we are experiencing now, having the moon, it comes from all these suppressed shames that we have experienced for ages.
Mm. Yeah, like sacred, unsacred energies.
Yes,
This is something that a lot of women come to see me for, is actually the removal of the relationships and the impacts to the womb from those relationships. For example, I had one young woman of 23 that came to see me, and she had a particularly sexually aggressive partner that was always nagging her for sex and all this kind of stuff. And she was, she's a young woman, she's healthy, she's, very eats well, is fit, but she would get these terrible periods, the monthly cycles, where she would be bleeding for 2 weeks,
yes,
possibly even 3. And she couldn't figure out. And she said, when she came to me, she said, I can't take it anymore. It was that rather die than bleed for any more than, the normal time frame. So it's quite fascinating.
it is, and all this abuse that is coming forth now is about suppressing the women because we are so powerful that the man has been afraid of us. So for us not to be who we are being suppressed, and the sexual energy suppressing us in that area is the most, what I say, the wounded place to do it because we have this shame of our identity of being a woman.
It's really interesting, this imposition of unsacred negative frequency over our own expression. So you can feel, this barrier that we're having to break through our own identity, which is gradually being demonized.
Yes, yes,
Because, with all of that compaction, women have adopted the behaviors of men and then find that they can no longer live in that way.
no, because we cannot be authentic. But as we was ashamed of ourselves, we thought we to compare with the men in the workplace, we needed to be men. But we are now aligning more and more, so we have discovered that actually we can be ourselves. And when we can be ourselves, men can also be ourselves because they are also suffering. They are lacking this compassion and love that is the femininity, the embrace, because they have not developed that one in themselves either. So both is energies of female and male has been unbalanced in both men and women. So that's why women have been suppressed and men have been the perpetrator and the hunters and the aggressive one, and they're not happy with it. Like we are not happy with.
Having to be something that you're not. That's very beautifully put. Yeah. How you say that, how the men aren't happy with the roles that they've been assigned. They just want to have a good time, chill, do a simple life. I'm sure. Just like we do.
Go and have a beer with the pals and say, yeah. No, they want more. They want authenticity themselves, just as we do.
Actually, Cecil, somebody in the chat room has said Jasmine Bayland. Hello, Jasmine. She says, I've been thinking about this. We've been talking about blood and menstruation. I've been thinking about recently honouring our blood cycles. Our menstrual blood has so many nutrients for the plants. Giving it back to the earth is a great way to honour our bodies. That is beautiful, and I fully would recommend that.
Yes.
With a prayer, a sacred prayer, sacred honouring of
Yes.
you.
Yes. Now we have remedies you can use to collect the blood, and you take it and you give it to the plants. It is nectar, it's honey. It's
I'm going to
wonderful.
be really funny here and say menstrual note to self. Had to do it. I couldn't help myself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I wonder if we can co-create a prayer for honouring the blood
Yes.
that we release on a monthly basis. What do you think?
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes. Good.
I'll start. It's just come through, if that's okay.
Yes.
Ooh, that's strong. Ooh. In my sacred prayer of sovereign feminine awareness, I honour my monthly cycle of my femininity, of this body, of this soul, in line with Earth's natural cycles, timelines, and seasons as a woman.
Thank you for showing us what we have forgotten. Thank you for being consistent with us. Not Thank you for opening up to your frequency so we can honor you and know what you really are in truth. Honoring the system of the body and the cycle of the moon, which is the cycle of going inwards, going into prayer and sacredness, and honoring so we can give it back to you, Mother Earth. Thank you for the life you give us and for teaching us about your sacredness that we forgot. We like that.
I'm not often lost for words or translating feelings, but that was strong. Sissel, you're a powerhouse. And my womb is like, I'm like, oh my God.
She was strong. She was so pleased to be seen. So thank you.
What that honouring has done for me personally, it has deepened my connection, my feeling tangibly to the earth. I feel very present, very grounded, just very in myself, you know, my whole creative universe down here.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Because this is life. The body is Mother Earth, and we are embodying it. We are living inside it. We are allowed to be here, to birth new life. So we have to be grateful.
Wow. So when women tap into that creative power, that creative, now I don't really want to call it power, that natural creative innate ability. I'm even going to just sort of separate emotion from it, because it's more than just a functional consciousness in itself. It's the universe.
What did you say?
It's the universe.
It is. It is.
The female creator universe housed in our bodies. As women, we are lucky. And I'm just thinking back to all of my past lives as being a man. Okay, I was all right. I was a decent guy, but I wouldn't want to be one.
Well, it's good to be a woman now.
Yeah, maybe not 100 years ago, but now it's okay.